folks. I'm gonna jump right into this today. I had a request from one of the Kev Mac maniacs to follow up on this story, so I'm gonna let you know right now. Frank Finesse, what I'm doing here is I'm still doing the research on it, but I'm gonna give you some of the preliminary things that I did find, and it's the situation of child support custody disputes in the state of Michigan. And from what I discovered is that the child support laws in the state of Michigan have really truly made a huge mistake in the fact that they have a loophole that is being used, and they got a lot of men that are suffering from it because it has to do with, just say a woman gets pregnant and she decided, well, I want to get some assistance. She can go through the phone book, find anybody's name, and just give them anybody's name. And once they get that child support started, it's just almost impossible for that person to stop it. From my research, I discovered that those same laws exist in New York, in the state of New York also. So it's like the guy, they had this situation. One guy, he ended up getting a child support wage assignment placed on his wages at his job. He didn't even know the woman. He never met the woman. She found his name, gave him his name. So they're taking child support out of his check. So they stated that a subpoena was filed. He never received a subpoena. So that means the guy falsified the fact that they even offered to came out to the house with a subpoena. Subpoena was never delivered to his house. So that's two false situations that you got going on. The third situation is he went and had a paternity test done, a blood test and all that. Turns out 0%. He was not a match. It was not his kid, and he still have to pay the child support. So this is a real crazy situation, and I'm going to definitely, I have to dig deeper into this and get you more information. That's going out to Frank. Okay, first story here is about, this is a Las Vegas police officer accused of committing sex acts with children. He died Wednesday of a self-inflicted gunshot wound 1 week after prosecutors filed more charges against him. Matthew Terry, 27, who was free on $122,000 bail, was found dead at a park near Hill Point Road and Beechnut Avenue in Henderson, Nevada, according to Clark County Coroner's Office. He had been scheduled to face a jury in March. In May, prosecutors said evidence was mounting against Terry and charged him with 13 counts of lewdness with a child younger than 14 years old, 4 counts of attempted lewdness, 5 counts of child abuse, 1 count of luring children through the use of a computer, and 1 count of open and gross lewdness. Deputy Attorney General Engler has said prosecutors believe Terry engaged in acts with boys dating back to 2009 when he was a teenager, calling his behavior extremely concerning. So he pulled a gun, put a gun in his mouth the other day, and killed himself, committed suicide after destroying these people's lives. This was a cop. This was a cop here in Vegas. Okay, we have another Vegas story, and it's about a black man that lost his life. This guy's a bike rider, and this is a story that just happened. Byron Lee Williams, 50 years old, reportedly told officers he couldn't breathe after they gave chase and arrested him after he was subdued. Said according to reports, 50-year-old Byron Lee Williams raced off with the officers giving chase, but the man died. The man died. He died he died in their custody, and he was they were stopping him because he had some missing reflectors. He was driving his bike at night, and he had some missing reflectors on his bike. So the guy, he panicked. He panicked and he took off. They chased him, and he eventually got too overheated there, and he passed away. And it's a real sad situation, man. You got somebody that's just going out, riding a bike, and before you know it, there they go. Here's another story. Former NFL player Terrell Roberts shot dead while visiting his grandmother in Richmond, California. Anybody that have to be familiar with Richmond, California, that's up close by San Francisco in the Bay Area. Richmond, you probably remember the city of Richmond. That was in the movie Coach Carter. Coach Carter there. That's where that movie was supposed to have been from, Richmond, California. It says a former NFL player was shot and killed at a home on Fascination Circle Wednesday evening, according to the man's family. Terrell Roberts, who played 2 seasons as defensive back for the Cincinnati Bengals in the mid-2000s, was at his grandmother's home in Richmond. Said when someone entered the residence and shot him in the backyard, the family said. The Roberts family said he had a heart of gold and had no known enemies. They said he was not mixed up in anything bad. The neighbor, Donald Monk, spoke with Robert's grandmother. She was saying that she knew some of his so-called friends, but she doesn't know who it was, why they want to do this. Richmond police said officers arrived and found Roberts in the backyard of the home with a gunshot wound to the chest. He was pronounced dead at the scene. So that's another young black man lost his life. Lost his life for no reason. It's we gotta put these guns down. It's like everybody's just so busy to just pull the guns out and just start shooting at people for no reason. It's like, you got to be able to negotiate and talk this stuff out. So as I promised, I always said I would end my broadcast with a feel-good news story, and this is a feel-good news story here, and it's about a Michigan police officer who had KKK memorabilia in his home. I don't know if you remember the story, but it was about a couple that was out looking for a home, and they was trying to buy a home. And so when they went in the house, they discovered, all this KKK stuff at his house. Turns out, the guy was a cop. It says a Michigan police officer has been fired from the Muskegon Police Department following an inquiry into racist memorabilia found in his home that was for sale. His house was for sale. Officer Charles Anderson was terminated after disciplinary hearing concluded Thursday afternoon. Muskegon City Manager Frank Peterson told NBC News. Peterson said the entire inquiry report would likely be released sometime next week. Neither Anderson nor the Officers Union, the Police Officers Labor Council, could immediately be reached for comment. Anderson, who was white, was placed on administrative leave last month after a prospective home buyer saw he had a framed Ku Klux Klan application and multiple Confederate flags in his house. And that's what it said. It made the news. It was all over the news. I remember seeing that story. The Muskegon Police Department announced on August 8th that it had opened an internal investigation after social media posts that was brought to its attention accusing the veteran officer of being in possession of certain items associated with the white supremacy group. The man behind the Facebook post, Mathis, uploaded a picture of the KKK document on Facebook on August 7th after touring Anderson's home with his wife and their 2 children and a real estate agent. Mathis, who was black, previously told NBC News he did not know or disclose the officer's identity in the post, but that other social media users identified him in the comment thread. So this guy, you know, you got a cop that, you know, got a bunch of racist affiliation, and I say good riddance. You know, you can't, you know, you got a white supremacy is running rampant here in the United States, and now you got a cop hiding behind the badge, no telling how many people have been injured and arrested by him just because of the color of their skin. So that's my feel-good story of the day. And can't get nothing else in life, get peace. Get some peace.